Hey everybody, it's Pep here. Today I will be talking about a fragrance that's been out for a few years. It's a flanker. It's Encre Noire à l'Extreme from LExtreme. Okay, so this is a fairly popular fragrance. Of course, it's a flanker to the ultra popular original Encre Noire. I don't have actually any real experience with the original Encre Noire other than spraying it maybe once or twice in store. But what I do know is that the original didn't really, I remember it being quite a cold, kind of dark vetiver scent. What attracted me to this one here was the addition of a few extra notes. Still essentially a vetiver heavy perfume, but I find the LExtreme more versatile and probably a little bit more wearable, which to me just means I would wear it in more circumstances, more situations. But what I want to do in this video today is something a little more a comparison and a review. So the fragrance that this gets compared to a lot, if you look at sites like Fragrantica, is one of the Chanel exclusives, which is quite a popular one. It's Chanel Sycomore. Now I know that now the exclusives all changed to the EDP concentration from EDT. A lot of Chanel fans, tend to think that the original EDTs were better fragrances. I was lucky enough to be sent a little sample of the original Chanel Sycomore EDT. And I thought it'd be interesting to do a direct comparison between Chanel's what's probably going to become a unicorn for a lot of people, Sycomore EDT, to Encre Noire à l'Extreme from LExtreme. So let's get on with it. I'll spray the opening for the Encre Noire if I can find the nozzle. This arm, I've got a bit of a dry down already going on the other side of my arm, and Sycomore on this arm. Now, I know from smelling these already earlier that what I can tell you straight off the bat is that they're apart from that vetiver accord, they're not, to my nose, they're quite different. Okay, so the main differences are that the Encre Noire à l'Extreme, in the opening till the dry down, it's what I would describe as a very thick scent. So you do get the vetiver, that nice earthy thick vetiver from beginning to end in this. And there are apparently two types of vetiver here: Java vetiver and Haitian vetiver. Whereas the Sycomore is a bit more nuanced. Okay, so it opens a bit brighter. There is that fizziness that comes with it, probably from aldehydes, and a more pronounced spiciness, more like pink pepper, that gives it that brightness at the beginning. Whereas the Encre Noire, although there is bergamot listed as a note, I think it's just a flavouring for the cypress and the resins that are added in here to the vetiver. So this to me is more of a woody, bright, a woody balsamic kind of opening. Whereas here you've got a spicy, fizzy opening. A few minutes in, the vetiver comes to the fore, but where here it starts to get even more earthier and warmer with the addition of orris root or iris with the Encre Noire. What I get in the Sycomore EDT is more dusty tobacco and it does become smoke. It does. I get a more smoky vetiver here as opposed to the more earthy vetiver in the Encre Noire. And so when it gets more into the dry down and into the base, the main differences is really about feel with these two. The Chanel is more nuanced. There is more layers, and it's a bit more. There is a bit more space about it as it develops on your skin, whereas the Encre Noire is thick and heavier. I would liken it, and my opinion is that they both smell great, albeit different. Okay, and an analogy that I could probably make about these two is that, you know, if you've got a really nice item of clothing, let's say a top or a jumper, the Encre Noire is a nice cashmere, and the Chanel is a beautiful linen. You know, they're both suitable for different occasions, and they're both beautiful in their own way, but they are different. I would probably find the Chanel more versatile in that I would be likely to wear it in more different circumstances. The Encre Noire LExtreme, although it feels like a cold weather fragrance, I have worn it in warm weather, and it is it feels different on the skin. Something changes about it, and I'm not quite sure why, but it does tend to work in warm weather. The other thing I want to mention is that in terms of sillage, projection, I think the Encre Noire, probably because it's heavier, I tend to feel its weight a bit more than I do the Chanel, which doesn't make the Chanel inferior in any way. It's just the way it's built. In the end, you know, my personal opinion is that I'm certainly not in love with the Chanel enough to seek out the bottle. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to smell it, and I appreciate and really like this scent, but I'm not going to feel like when I wear Encre Noire LExtreme that I'm missing out on something superior. It's just different. And given the EDT is not made anymore, and now these are EDP, and I haven't smelled the EDP, by the way. I have been told that it's different. The EDP might well be closer to Encre Noire LExtreme than the EDT of Sycomore. They're both great scents. The review mainly is for Encre Noire LExtreme. I get about 6 to 8 hours longevity, which is not, you know, beast mode by any stretch, but it's pretty good. I think it sits reasonably close in terms of projection, and I really like it. It's still a dark scent like the original Encre Noire, but it has added warmth to it with the addition of some resins and that orris note, which I particularly pick up in the middle of its development. Chanel Sycomore is definitely spicier due to pink pepper, and there's also, you know, more of a tobacco note mixed in here. So I find Sycomore a drier kind of scent to the Encre Noire LExtreme. If you get a chance to smell it, please do. It's loved by many, but I also love Encre Noire LExtreme. Thank you for watching. I hope that was useful information. But if you've tried the Sycomore EDT or EDP in particular, and the Encre Noire, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching.